is your boy Leo Frank, and we got a new channel for you guys called What the Frank Sports. I'm here with my boy E Money. E Money, go ahead, talk to him.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is E Money. I'm here with my boy Leo Frank, and I'm excited to have this sports channel this year. We're bringing it back to the old school. For those of you guys that know, me and Lee, we've been knowing each other since day one. This is my day one right here.
Second grade.
Yep. So we're excited to have this channel, bring sports to everybody. We got a lot of subjects to talk about. And the good thing is we won't always agree. So
we probably very rarely will agree, honestly. You guys are going to see. Chris got his unique ideas. I got my right ideas. So you guys will see as, when we go along. But basically what we're going to be doing is just talking sports, basketball, football, and other things as they come up. So what we're going to start off with first, Chris, we're going to talk about James Harden. You want to talk about whether or not the Brooklyn Nets should trade for James Harden. And we got a couple games on our belt to see and to evaluate. So, Chris, I'm going to go ahead and let you start off. Do you think that the Brooklyn Nets should trade for James Harden?
So, Lee, to answer your question, this is a no-brainer. I mean, James Harden is one of the top 6 players in the NBA. If you look at his career, he's led the league in scoring the last 3 years. He's an MVP candidate the last 4 out of the 5 years. He's won MVP as recently as 2018. So if I'm the Brooklyn Nets, I'm definitely trading for James Harden. I'm waiting till the mid-season, though, because if you wait till mid-season, you could put somebody like Joe Harris, who just signed a decent-sized contract, in the deal. You could also put Karis LeVert, Dunwoody, and Jared Allen. But the only thing on this deal that may hold it up is I'm not sure the Rockets would like the pieces that they get back for James Harden. But this is a no-brainer.
So which who exactly would you trade? Like, if you were the Brooklyn Nets, who would you trade away for James Harden? So that would realistically be able to get the trade to go through.
Absolutely, that's a great question. And what I would do is I would start off.
It's a great question.
I would start off with Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert is a proven scorer. He's a role player. He could start or he could come off the bench. Then you have Spencer Dunwoody. We all know the injury history of John Wall, who's just coming off a couple of injuries in a row. So you need Spencer Dinwiddie. He could be your backup point guard. Throw him in the trade. Like I previously mentioned, to make the money work, you wait till mid-season. Joe Harris just signed a 4-year, $75 million contract. I don't know how he got that, but I would put him in just to make the money work. Then
he averaged 15 points last season. Joe Harris
15 points is not worth $75 million. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's big time money, Lee.
Yeah, but the NBA, the contracts are going higher and higher and higher every year.
But Joe Harris?
Same as Harris and Barnes.
Well, almost. But what I would say is I would put Joe Harris in the deal. I'd also look at getting Jared Allen, even though Jared Allen has tremendous upside as a big man in this game. I would put him in the deal, and I would put in a couple of draft picks because to get a one-in-a-lifetime player like James Harden, but James Harden has arguably been the most consistent player in the NBA besides Giannis in the last 4 or 5 years.
More than LeBron?
Yes, LeBron had a year 2 years ago where he was injured. They didn't even make the playoffs. And I'm a huge LeBron fan. You see the 23. So James Harden is it. He's the real deal. He's a Hall of Famer. I need people to put respect on James Harden's name.
Okay, so you said LeVert, you said Harris, and you said some draft picks.
LeVert, Dinwiddie, Harris, Allen, and draft picks, all for James Harden.
So what was you spitting there? What was you spitting there? Straight?
Hey, I'm going to tell you this. I'm spitting straight facts, homie, because if you look at the history of the NBA, the big three, teams that have a big three traditionally at least win one championship. Let's take a look at it. Let's look at the Miami Heat. when they got Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James. They won 2 championships. Let's look at Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce. They won championship. Let's look at the Los Angeles Lakers right before that. Kobe Bryant, Ron Artest, Pau Gasol. They won.
Ron Artest wasn't part of the big three. Lamar Odom was better than him.
You're right about that. Lamar Odom. Hey, they won a championship. You got to have a big three in the other and one is if they get James Harden, that will be the biggest threat to the Lakers.
Now, you ready for me to tell you why you're wrong? Like Max be telling Stephen A. All right, this is why you're wrong. All right, the Nets should not trade for James Harden. No way, no how. And I'm gonna tell you why. You're right. Teams do need a big three. That is good. Whenever you have a big three that comes together, there's always one person whose production drops from the level where it was. Like Chris Bosh, his production dropped when he went to the Miami Heat. Kevin Love, his numbers dropped when he went to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Even when you look at the Warriors, when KD came over, his average went from 28 points to 25 points, which isn't that big of a drop off. But Draymond Green became a walking, what Charles Barkley said, triple single. He became a walking triple single, and even Klay Thompson's numbers dropped slightly. And I think there's one more, Ray Allen. His numbers dropped. He ended up averaging 17 points a game. Usually that number 3 guy on the big three, they usually average between 15 to 20 points a game, 20 on the high side. Ray Allen averaged 17. Who else was part of that big three? Chris Bosh averaged 16. Kevin Love, he was around 16 and 17. So when you need that third person to average 15 to 20, right? The Nets already got that. Last year, Dinwiddie averaged 20 points a game. You also got LeVert. Those guys, you got your third player who can do that. So the reason why I'm saying we know James Harden is great. He's one of the best. We know that. And he's going to make most teams, wherever he goes, he'll make most teams better. But the Nets are a unique situation, and he's not going to make them better because whose production is going to go down? You don't want KD's production to go down because he's arguably one of the best in the game right now. You don't want his production to go down. And judging based off of the history of James Harden and Kyrie Irving, neither one of them they don't want their production to go down. They're not like Chris Bosh was willing to take less points and things. Kyrie Irving is not. James Harden is not. And one thing that James Harden brings is he's not, from all the reports that's been coming out, he's not that much of a team player. And that's why even his homeboy didn't want to play with him and Russell Westbrook. Like, he would show up to meetings late, and the coach would, like, wait to start the meetings until James Harden got there. So they're waiting around, a half hour before he gets there. He shows up to, the bus to leave late. He just kind of, like, seemed like he didn't care, and because he knew he was going to get his. But the Nets, they got a team. They got their number 1 in KD. They got the number 1A because he's not really a 2 in Kyrie. And then they got their number 3 and their number 4 and their number 5. They got their 6th man coming off the bench. They're already set. It's right now Nets and Lakers as long as nobody gets hurt. So that's why they should not trade for James Harden.
I got a 30-second rebuttal, and I'm going to keep this short.
Hit me with it.
In your argument, you compared Karis LeVert and Spencer Dinwiddie to Hall of Famers Kevin Love, Ray Allen, and Chris Bosh.
In their points production. Yeah.
Not a fair comparison.
No, wait. Let me hit that before you go to your next point. You don't think that he can average 15, 16 points this year? Just like they did?
You need a bona fide star.
No. I'm talking about the same production. You don't think he can put up that same production, 15, 16 points?
Not in crunch time. Not when it counts. When you're in the finals, LeBron James and Anthony
crunch time, you don't need nobody else. You got KD and Kyrie.
You don't need them when you go up against LeBron James and Anthony Davis and Montrezl Harrell and Dennis Schroeder. But one more point. This is fool's gold. You are correct. The Brooklyn Nets, their chemistry looks amazing right now. But who have they played? They played a depleted Warrior team without Draymond Green. They played the Celtics on Christmas Day.
Draymond Green gonna whoop me. I'm gonna stop. I ain't Charles Barkley. Draymond Green gonna whoop me if you hear this. I'm gonna stop saying
He will. You know he's from Michigan. He will get on you, Lee.
Michigan? Ain't nobody worried about nobody from Michigan. Who from Michigan?
Detroit?
Hey, we about to lose.
I don't know
Detroit.
from Detroit, but Detroit, ooh, wait. I wouldn't want to live there. Hey, but I'm going to tell you, that's where you go wrong. This is fool's gold. They will be good in the regular season, but I think they struggled to get out the second round of the playoffs. So,
who's going to beat them in the East?
They struggled.
If they're healthy, who's going to beat them?
Giannis. Giannis just got paid. He got something to prove.
He ain't never been out the second round himself.
Well, this year it's going to be different. They just gave him that $50 million a year, $45 million a year deal.
Money don't make people play better. Money don't make people play better. They play better for the money. Once they get it, their production usually goes down.
Well, I just want to end it on this note.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the first game that James Harden played this year? Although they lost because they were missing several star players, he had 44 points and 17 assists.
And they lost. And they lost.
They lost. But who do you know? Name you can't even name three.
Who they lose to?
The Portland Trailblazers, which is a bona fide team.
A team that made the 8th seed last year.
That's due to injuries. They were so injured.
They'll probably be a little bit. They'll probably be. Carmelo Anthony was good. That was a good pick. That was a good pickup. I don't know this. That's a different story for another time. But really quick, who would you, besides the Brooklyn Nets, where do you think James Harden could seriously end up at?
So I'm going to give you one team who I think if James Harden goes to this team, they win the championship, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
The Boston Celtics. Danny Ainge missed his opportunity to trade for a blue chip player like Anthony Davis about 4 or 5 years ago. He cannot miss this opportunity to get James Harden. I would trade Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, give him a couple of players off the bench, future draft picks, go all in, get James Harden, match him with Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. They would be a force to reckon with. Mark me down. The Celtics need to get James Harden now to win a championship in the next 2 years. What do you think, Lee?
Pretty good. So where do I think he's going to end up this year? I think he's going to end up playing with Houston the rest of the year. I don't like that. I actually want to see him go to the Warriors because – and this is our next topic we're going to talk about is where we predict the Warriors at. But basically, if James Harden is on the Warriors, you can stretch the floor and have another Splash Brothers again. And so that's Steph Curry can play a lot better. James Harden can do his thing. And you don't really have a true number 2 except for James Wiseman, but he can go back. He could be a number 3 because right now Andrew Wiggins is not. He ain't a number 2. He's a number 3 option. He's a third option. The question is,
wouldn't you have to put James Wiseman in the deal to get Harden? Who would you put in the deal to get Harden?
I'd trade away Wiggins and Oubre.
You probably need more than that to get a top 6 player in the league, arguably the top player in the last 5 years.
Yeah, Wiggins and Oubre. I ain't trying to give away James Wiseman. I give away Klay Thompson because I think Klay Thompson is great, but I think he might be – I don't want to say it. I think he might be washed. But anyway, that's our hey, you guys, let us know below who you think do you think that the Brooklyn Nets should trade for James Harden? Let's see what the people say. Who end up winning this? Did Chris win? E-Money win? Should they trade for James Harden or should they not? Please let Chris know that they should not trade for James Harden. All right. We're going to get on to the next topic.